Haze. Thank you, Boo. Been working. Macro. Slice of life. Things like that. So I just kind of wanted to a couple of things here, kind of help keep your bar from getting cluttered. So macros that I have, just like burst phase macros, because you can't really bind together your generators. All these lead into each other. There's no real way to separate apart from it. But when you have your Enshroud, Gallows, Gluttony, Soul Slice, Arcane Circle, those basically are a flow chart of what's available and not available. So, for instance, the way that I have it right now is there. We need to copy that, swap that here. Because essentially what we want to have happen, we're going to queue from the top to bottom. So it's going to check for Enshroud first. That's not available. Gallows. That's not available. Bloodstock. That's not available. Gluttony. That's not available. Ah, damn. I have these. Okay. So we want Gluttony. Above. Okay. So essentially what that's going to do is that's just a check-in. So I'm just going to hit my C key here occasionally. I have listed as Gallows. And it should just pretty much just pop off here. Yeah. So, you know, one key, keep pressing it over time. And then, now, what doesn't work too well is that there's a behind them and a flank side of it. But, I mean, I feel like, honestly, it's just easier to make 3 keys instead of have all of these buttons that you have to remember where they are. So, for instance, you have a behind, the side, and an AoE button. So, right now I only have behind and AoE. But, you know, if you wanted to, you could make a on the side button with the same exact spells in it, and you just hit that one if you're on their side. So, you know, you'd have CVB versus, you know, CVBFGH, you know, and then it's even more if you add up the other ones, because then you have different, these ones. Now, it's not gonna, you know, double, but 3 buttons compared to 9. Big difference here. But the one that I'm really proud of is the teleporting. Hell's Ingress and Hell's Egress. This one is my love child. It took me a while to figure out that the regress ability isn't actually its own ability, that it's directly tied from Hell's Ingress into Hell's Egress. So if you're to use one, you have to use the other. You can't use a regress. Regress doesn't do anything. But so I was having a lot of trouble remembering to use Harp. I was having a hard time remembering to use Harp with it. So now I have it set up so that way if I just hit the one key, what will happen is teleport in, Harp, and then teleport out. Now, the good thing about this, you know, sure, that may take a little bit longer, and if you don't want to cast a Harp, because it might take too long, like, you know, you for whatever reason, you teleported there and you can't stand there. If you just have both of them on your bars, because I have 2 different macros set up the same exact way, they operate the same exact way if you were to just use them. So, like, for instance, if I teleport in and then use the other one, it teleports me back out without using the Harp, because it doesn't queue Harp. So a couple little things I've been working on here, trying to make Reaper a bit more streamlined, because they have a lot of buttons. But probably gonna get worse, closer to 90, so I'll probably make an update to this at some point. But just thought I'd share that.